That's a big bird nest. Goodness. Met a lady named Victoria. She's in her 60s. She's got a dog. Poor thing got fleas while they were staying with a friend. And of course, can't keep their animals clean, so now our dog's got fleas. But I mentioned I like digging for rocks out here. So she gave me a big old, it's a carnelian agate. It's a type of rock that forms out here in the Northwest that apparently is not terribly common. At least the orange and red tinting. Like agates are extremely common globally. But I guess the chemical composition of the carnelian here in the Northwest is, I wouldn't say it's incredibly rare like emeralds or something, but in the agate spectrum of mineralogical formations, it's a rarity, I'd say. It's one of the things I really love about living out here in the Northwest is I believe a deciduous rainforest, which, as you guys can hear, is like, this is your 9 month out of 12 months of the year reality. It's just rain, 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 and a little bit more rain. Oh, guess what? More rain. But we also have, from what I understand, is one of the most mineralogically diverse areas in the world, that even like foreign scientists will come over to investigate. Basically, right off the edge of the coast of the United States, there's a Juan de Fuca fault line where part of the Earth's mantle is subverting under the North American plate. So it like immediately causes, like, on the northwestern coast, there's basically a chunk of the Earth's mantle that is lifted above sea level. And it's one of the few places in the world where it's done so. So scientists will come from all over the world to, in essence, view the deep bowels of the Earth that's been pushed upward. If that makes sense as to how that could have any kind of significance or why anybody would care. It's one of the few places in the Earth where a giant chunk of its bowels has been ripped to the surface, where we can study the layers of rock and what kind of stuff forms down there. And I think that's kind of cool. There's a lot of that little stuff that, it does suck to try and subsist or live in places like Oregon, Washington, and Alaska in its own special way. I'm sure, people from Florida be like, oh yeah, try gators and all them skaters. Yeah, there's some parts that suck out here. The friggin' Californian flag has a bear on it from back when, bears, we had so many bears out here, they were eating humans. They were acquiring a taste for human flesh. We had to literally hunt them to extinction. From the old adage of goodbye, God be with you. If you were to leave the gates of the city out here in the Northwest, it could become bear chow or mountain cat chow. I mean, we do have quite a few other nasty ass animals that, even beavers are highly aggressive. Like freaking beavers. And yeah, people laugh how could you get taken out by a beaver? I'm like, dude, it's basically between a house cat and a capybara with big ass teeth. And that thing comes flying at you in the middle of the night. Yeah, no. I'm sure there's been people killed by beavers. As ridiculous as that statement is, I'm sure there's been people mauled to death by a beaver. And that's just kind of staying out here in this park at night. We've got nutria, you can see them. I mean, again, it's like a house cat sized rat. And we're just like, whoa, what the fuck is that? It's that was a nutria. And yeah, they're known to pop tires if you were to hit them, because their teeth are so long. It's basically like hitting a big ass nail. And yeah, you can blow your tires fucking hitting nutria. So it's bizarre, but I don't know, it does kind of have a sense of excitement that I think a lot of us like. Yeah, the Northwest isn't so bad. We got all that crazy stuff, but like I'd take that crazy over like mosquitoes. We do get mosquitoes out here, but not like we need mosquito nets, people dying of malaria kind of deal. And like I certainly wouldn't want to go up against a gator. Like, nah, I'm good. I would be less afraid of wolves than I would something like a polar bear. You know, like there's some kind of animals that they have a leeriness towards people. Which is like, if I see a nutria, I'm not going to like wig out. But at the same time, I'm not getting near that damn thing. Like, I know. Like, as long as, like, you'll have that moment between you and that animal where you're like, just keep walking. He's like, yeah, you too. You're just kind of like, yeah, cool, we're cool. I mean, I get that with dogs, even some of the more aggressive dogs. Like, I don't try and approach them. I don't try and touch them or anything. I'm just like, you know, that's cool. I'm right here. Like, when you have that squaring off moment of like, you're chill? Yeah, I'm chill. Are you chill? All right, cool. I'm going to go eat some kibble. It is kind of limiting out here, though, that there's just not so much to do. Like, you live anywhere in the Pacific Northwest long enough, and, like, I don't think I could count California in on this, because, I mean, give me a break. It's California. You know, you have the literal cinema mecca of the world, you know, high-end to, you know, crazy immigrant restaurants and stuff that, like, your choices are endless. But out in the Northwest, it's just like, well, you gotta drive yourself 180 miles, and then you can go to Portland, which, you know, even left-wing comedians joke Portland is, it's Portland. Or you can end up, you know, at Crater Lake National Park. Like, those are kind of your options. Like, you can go to some kind of like half-assed coastal town that you've been to 19 times as a kid, because it's literally the only place to go. Or you can drive to somewhere you don't even really want to interact with. I mean, I don't think a lot of us like the idea of like, I'm going to take my day off and I'm going to get stuck in traffic in the city. It's going to be great. Like, no. And then, yeah, every other option they're on is, you know, national parks are cool, but there's only so much just like green, gray, maybe yellow or more green. You know, every national park in Oregon, pretty much, at least in the Northwest area, it looks like this. It's all got invasive blackberry and half-dead trees covered in moss. Like, you can sprinkle some waterfalls in on that or something, but woof. And again, that's why I'm not moving, though. Sorry, that cough's still hanging on. I know places like Nebraska, you know, some of the Midwest states where it's like, oh, you think it's boring in the Northwest, huh? Like, no, you're good. I bow to your boringness. So I'm not hurrying to go to Utah. It's but then again, like, I did recently drive through Nevada and New Mexico, and there's some like, there is some bananas things that are out there, like the brothels. I never went in one because I was, you know, traveling with a girlfriend at the time. But like, there's brothels. I thought that stuff died with the Old West. You get yourself an inn for the day. You get yourself into the brothel, maybe the inn or the saloon. But yeah, got to give them a shout out. They're publicly known company, so I don't think I'm going to get in trouble in just saying like Alien Cat House in Nevada. It was wild. Just like a gift shop here in Area 51 slash, maybe they're not using the verbiage cat house correctly, in which case I'd advocate a change on that. But it was crazy. Driving out in the middle of nowhere. It's been like 2-3 hours of just like the desert. Used to imagine all the mobsters and stuff that just disappeared out in these plains. And you come across a little gas station, like 1 or 2 pumps. It's got like a little convenience store with your Haagen-Dazs or whatever ice cream things and your generic sodas and water. And then attached to this is just like Alien Cat House. I don't know why I'm stuck on that. I'm a guy, so my brain's relatively simple. But again, it's just one of those things. It's such a complete departure from Oregon. We're like, out here we have strip clubs, to an extent. But you still have tons of towns that have regulated that out. They're like, oh, hell no, we're not having that. You can keep that in Eugene. I think maybe Salem's got a few. Like the major metropolitan cities, like, yeah, you can do that stuff there, but, not in our good old town, good old Christian value town. I don't know, it doesn't, I guess just like you have that personal bias of growing up wherever you grew up, where you're like, yeah, these people are this way, these people are that way, and our state sucks. I wish I could live somewhere else. And in reality, that's just a universal, It'd be nice to have more options to travel. If there was easier ways for the individual to be like, okay, you got to pay this much off per month to live. And these are your bills and everything. But all companies have like basically a mandate that a person can freeze it for just 1 month. Like I pay you guys every month of the year for the past 3 years. I need 1 month. I need to be human for a little bit. Like it's literally killing me to keep up with these payments and stuff. And I've had no enjoyment. Like if I can just get 1 month of a break or like one paycheck, I can save up. It's like a, round trip ticket to Mexico is like, $400-500. You get a cheap hotel, it's $20-30, and your food. Like you can realistically off of one like $1,200 check, at least go travel to Mexico for like a week or two. Something that like, I get it. I've got all of these debt responsibilities, and I have to pay them, and I do. But you guys also need to understand that, like, if I do nothing but this, it'll kill me rapidly, and I won't be able to pay you back. I'll either collapse under the debt and the stress of life, or, I'll end up in an early grave, and you're still going to have to try and collect on the... I just feel like it would be nice more people were able to kind of understand each other. Like, I get it. It sucks. You live in, rural Iowa. And it'd be really nice if you could just not pay bills for a month and just have the money to go on a small trip. Just a month. A little bit of, I'm a goddamn human, give me a break. It'd be an interesting concept. Anywho, just another rant. This time in a forest.